can't believe I'm regretting not watching more isekai anime. How the heck do I get back to the real world?
Good afternoon, judges. We've all read the history and legends of creatures that used to walk this land side by side with us. Now, I've spent many long years reading and researching this very question. Did they really exist? According to my research, they look like this.
Pamela, are you there?
The cold chill air moves through the house. The stair is narrow and straight. Her eyes peek inside. Each room a sharp place. 6 foot under she lays. She comes my way. Their skin taut and foul, beetles crawl from the hole. In her chest is drawn there, the smell so gross, so foul. Rotten flesh drips down, carpet a greenish red, soaks up away. 6 foot under she lay, to rise on the 6th day. 6 foot under. My dark heart, her faust and spreads out. Her voice creeps into me. 6 foot under she lay. She comes my way. Come to take me, my blood down your 6 foot under some lay. She comes my way. She comes my way.
She's happy now. The scent's gone. She won't cry anymore. She's gone forever.
In my travels to the north, high on a mountaintop. In my travels to the north, high on a mountaintop, I found this.
And it begins. Are you ready, kids? Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't think I've ever streamed this early in the morning. So hopefully wherever you are, your day is starting well. Your evening, you're feeling rested. And if you're lunchtime, enjoy your lunch. And hopefully, you know, your feeling is, what shall I say? Pleasantly, that you're pleasantly feeling well and blissful, or maybe just happy, and whatever you're doing, you find joy in that, as long as it's not criminal, right? Because we don't want criminals doing criminal things. So if you are doing criminal things right now, I suggest you stop. So I say, get help. Anyway, welcome to the Monkey Show. My name's Aru, or Zero Monkey, or Malfunction. I've gone by many names, but right now it's just just me just doing stuff here. So I will be sitting up and we'll get some stuff done. Music has finished. Time to put on some work, stuff. I'm creating some captions, and just as I decided to go streaming, 10 minutes ago, my freaking Clip Studio Paint, or my computer actually decided, well, you don't have enough memory. And I was like, oh, but I do. Turned out it was using the memory from the external drive and stuff, and they got pretty full. So we are going to edit, and where are we? This. So I had to redo the Kickstarter as a solo. I decided last night, instead of straight away getting angry and frustrated about it, and trying to go in, let's read. The Kickstarter was going to end yesterday anyway, right? So having it suspended because of somebody reporting it as some sort of violent, pornographic, or attacking some marginalized groups, which it does nothing of, because something like that would be I kind of find stupid to write about, because there's enough of that out there. I just wanted to do something cool, and I'm building a big universe, and in my big universe there are actually 2 lesbians, and they're quite intelligent people, normal, go about doing their normal thing. They're actually government agents, part of a our world. There's the Plunge universe has in the future has been divided into 4 different world groups, governments, whatever you want to have it called. And so they belong to the one that's down the side of the world. So we're going to play some music, try some music here. We're going to do some editing and what have you. And this is for a reset, right? For the relaunch of the #1. Hopefully my voice doesn't, flag out, because it is feeling a bit weird. Because I'm going to offer, I've decided to just basically restart the Howler #1 is on its own, right? So put it out there as on its own, give it its own thing. And while when you do that, you got to put up a trailer. And so all I've got left now is the trailer. And the good thing is that because all this other stuff was already there from the previous, campaign, I could just go in and go import, and I didn't have to go through the process of putting in everything. So I've been working since about 5 yesterday. It's 2 o'clock today. Was it 5? Maybe 7 yesterday, right after dinner, and just working at this Kickstarter, putting all the stuff together, what we're going to do, and so forth and stuff, and what items, what tiers, just because it's just for the Howler series, right? The #1 of Howler. So I'm hoping that, there's nothing in this. It's a teen plus, PG-13 as we call it in New Zealand, and with PG-13 in New Zealand, it's this is what it means. I was trying to describe it to Tim yesterday about what a PG-13 is, and it's basically, where are we? Did I go too far? Oh yeah, I was looking at trying to figure out what was going on with my Kickstarter. Actually, Grok, what was going on with it? Now, so there was somewhere here. I was looking at the rating system and how we rated in New Zealand is different to how people rate in, overseas in other countries. So I asked, according to what New Zealand does for PG-13, somewhere here, if I can find that. Is that the one? Yeah, here we go. So a PG-13 is basically a Marvel movie, right? But it's also Demon Slayer. It's also Jujutsu Kaisen. For some reason, right? For some seasons, but like not all seasons. And also Harry Potter's a PG-13, right? The Hunger Games, where you actually shoot and kill people, right, is a PG-13. Stranger Things, horror, which is what that's why I wanted the PG-13 say, which is teen plus for Howler, because it's like about the same as these three, right? You got monsters, you got horror, you got a bit of violence. Because I think that for this book, I didn't really feel like it being too, gore orientated, too crazy like that. So I decided not to do that with this. So, oh no, I need to go back up that way. I need to go out here and go back to the Kickstarter. And so, yeah, so I thought, okay, well, why don't we just I've got a month and I can just put this out, and then we can go in, put it back out and then like replan something for the manga, So I restructured everything here. You can see, all these things here, telling you what you're going to do, simplified stuff, various items you're going to get, right? What matters, all that, the usual thing that they ask you, what's going to be offered, the artwork, shows you this time. I'll show you that, because we've been like, most of the time we talk about everything on live stream, right? And so I thought like everybody knows us from YouTube and stuff and social media posts and stuff. But it seems like, I forget that people sometimes, right? Not always, but I forget sometimes that there are actually individuals in the world who don't know about a lot of things that happens online. Even yesterday, a friend of mine was saying, an artist actually, he said, well, what's Confiscate? And I just say, well, this. And I said, well, here's some documentaries to watch, right? And so I got to like treat everything like nobody knows it, right? So this Kickstarter, like nobody knows it. So I went in here and said, like, everything's 100% finished. Like, this is all here. Everything we're offering, you can see the cards, they're all done. Earlier I was showing the, the art you can get if you're back, Ever Kim's one. So how you going, dude? Welcome. So, everything's just going to be a single thing for Howler, and and not for not including the tortoise. So let's put on some music while I do some work, get the trailer going. Now I did let's move this, get my workstation up. Here you are. So I cut up all the images right over here. Let's get some music on the download. Let's just check the YouTube. So if you're writing some funky music, like beats and stuff, but not only that, but I've been writing metal as well, right? Normally, that's what I like, writing metal and stuff. And the actual words and lyrics are written by me, but I put it through Sunu, I think it is Sunu or Sonu, and I tell them what I want, and then melody-wise, and they'll put it out. But here, when I was doing Silvery Moon, when I was doing the trailer for this, I actually wrote a song for this. So let me just check that the YouTube is not too loud for you guys, because I don't want to drown you out. My voice sounds a bit croaky, guys. Sorry, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Apologies for that. And I think something's going with the mic because it sounds like it's breaking. But welcome, let's do some work, right? Okay. So let me keep this volume a bit lower so it's not overpowering. So, chat. Oh, yeah. I guess. All right. I need to put this down. I need to bring the workstation back up. I'm using Wondershare Video Editor for this. This is how I made the first trailer. So this is all my, all the files I've just recreated. A lot of them. Removed some of like the background, so it's all black. Whereas the other one was like this, right? And so when it changed, it just changed. Every time it changed, you had a different background. So I thought it's maybe cleaner if I just go black background like this, and only because of the images, I don't want to mess with the images. I want to actually have the proper real artwork from the comic book, so you could see the art, as it is. And so it's not changed or anything like that, but change the background of that. So this is I actually wrote a song for this called Born Under a Silvery Moon, which sounds like this. Let me pause there for a bit. So it sounds like this, right? And I did about 4 or 5 versions of the song with male and male vocals, female vocals, slow melody, jazzed up. So you can there's this one here for. And so, but that's more of a bluesy sound for this. So I decided to go with a female voice, right? And with that, setting up a very simple, because I used to edit on an Apple Mac, with the Mac Apple. I can't even remember the name of the editing suite now. It's been like 20 years since. It's been 20 years? Yeah, wow. It's been 20 years since I was like at film school. Actually, 23 years. 20 years when I actually finished. And, I used to be on Apple Mac. That's how I learned to spend my 3 years of my life editing film, that I actually shot myself, and then graduated but didn't get my degree because I lost my credits, and then I had to go back to another uni and finish another 30 credits to get my actual degree, bachelor's degree. So the thing about this here is that I can, it's very, a lot of people like are turning to AI to do their trailers and stuff. I kind of think that that's kind of a bit, I don't know. I don't feel like I want AI to touch the artwork we got, right? I don't want it to mess with the creative side of it. I don't mind writing a song, right? My actual lyrics, and putting it to AI and having AI, create the melody that I want for it, the type of genre I want for it, the kind of tone I want for it, right? And so I'm okay with that because I know there's half of me is in there, with the lyrics and stuff. But I also, we don't use AI in our comic books, so I want to be able to not use AI to, kind of like turn these pages into, animated, because I want to show people that what it is what it is. So you're not getting a bait and switch. Because I used to be in sales, and what would really piss me off is when people would bait and switch. You go in there, they'll show you one thing, and then they'll like actually sell you something else that was a bit cheaper or actually it's more expensive or something, and you get talked into stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to do that with people without comics and stuff. So I spent the last couple of hours, going through and setting up all this, cutting up the new images, files, text, PNGs to put into here like this, put it down, take away all the background, make it all just black, with this one, I just have some color in there. But, most of it's just black background. I think some of them might just left the, some color in the background, but most of them just, I think. So wherever you are, hopefully you guys are doing well. It's 2 a.m. here in the morning. Actually, it's about 3 a.m. now, New Zealand time. And my mouth is already getting dry. So this is a song that I'm picking for this one, for the Kickstarter, the new Kickstarter, right? For Howler Alone. I'm calling it Howler Solo, right? Because we did the Kickstarter we had running that 11 hours before finishing, it was suspended because someone actually got us cancelled. And I had AI check into it and said, yep, the way they reviewed it, because somebody actually went in there and said, hey, this is, against the TOS. But it wasn't. It really wasn't, because it went through their review and they said it was fine. So somebody decided, well, no, it's got nothing to do with nudity or anything like that. But they had to make it, it's got to do with pornography, but there's no images, right? We never put any actual pornographic images on the thing. And even the comic book art cover, which doesn't even actually, nude cover that I had doesn't even show you anything much, because I actually blacked it out, right? It was this cover here, right? So I actually blacked it out. No crutch was shown because of the way it was linked, and no, the only breast you saw was just hers, but that, we blacked it out. So people who are actually buying that cover would know that what to expect. So they were okay with it, But I guess somebody had to go in and go, hey, yeah, we don't want that. And so we're going to have to continue putting out our, excuse me, getting a bit of a throat, like early morning, man. And it's actually, we're about to hit winter, so it's actually, temperature changes. So I apologize for that. Let me just put on some music while I think. I actually should have just made a tea. I was thinking about making hot tea, and that would have fixed my voice. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, it's given us like a month of advertising, right? The promotion we've done, so people are aware this was out here. So when I put this as a solo project out, hopefully people will see that, this is not the same campaign, but it does, it's part, it does have the same book, from previously, right? The covers are there, but this is the reason I was doing it as a 2-in-1 is because I really wanted backers to save money on freight. Because in New Zealand, for me to get a book over here, it's around about $30, man, just for freight, right? And that's $30 New Zealand, so it's around about, I don't know what the price of a book to New Zealand is. I do because I price it out. It's $51 New Zealand for a single book. So what I thought was, why not put two books out at the same time and have people save on freight if they wanted to from international, and also they can actually buy 2, 3, 4 books, different covers in that same price, and save it. So save their money by not having to that is if you wanted to back us for both things. You didn't have to. You could just back one campaign and get both, right, rather than having two different campaigns. So now, because of what's happened, with Kickstarter, I got to go into a solo campaign for, separate the two, instead of having my, my Tortoise manga together with my, with my Howler PG-13 teen plus book and my Tortoise mature reader, right? And because of nudity, they said you got to put R18 in there. I said, okay, but it's not explicit. So I guess the back again, like all these crowdfunding sites, they don't really give a fuck about, excuse my language, about backers, because if they did, they'd chase the people who are defrauding backers. Yesterday with Tim on the supposedly closeout show that it couldn't be a closeout because we got suspended 9 hours before going live. I'm getting ready to wake up and getting ready to go live, and I go, oh wait, that's suspended. What am I talking about now? I'm supposed to close out this. So now the backers get screwed, and I'm thinking, what do I do? Anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to put a solo campaign out, right? We're going to put a solo campaign out of just the PG-13 teen plus, action adventure monster book, on its own for a month, see how it goes. And then while that's happening, I will have, next week I'll talk to Kickstarter and go, what's going on with this manga thing? You guys said it was okay. And then suddenly you guys, would even post anything that these guys are saying. Here's the PDF of all the work. Go check it out yourself. Read it yourself. Every page that we're going to put out. And plus, it's been on, this whole project's been on Webtoons for 10 months. Every week we've been loading a page there. You can actually read it now yourself, right? I'll put it in the chat so you guys can see the go check it out for yourself with the Webtooners, for the Tortoise, for this one here, right? So I don't know what we're going to do with this. Maybe we'll do it later as a graphic novel or something, or it's a manga, right? Actual Takuban collection, because that's what we're building up to. We're building up to 4 chapters, and then we're going to release it as a graphic novel. Okay, so while I'm going to do some editing, what we'll do is we'll watch some Kino Casino, some drama, right? Let me stop that background music. And because I was watching some background drama, while I was working, not background drama, I was watching some Kino Casino, and I thought, well, maybe some other people want to watch that while I work, because this is a big thing right now. It's crazy, man, what's going on with this lot here. And it's just one of those things you kind of think, like, for me, around about 3 years ago, maybe 3.5 years ago, I just stopped watching these people, right? Hambly, Melanie Mack, Chrissy Meyer, FNT, all these people. The only time I would actually take notice of them is if clips came out, right? Like Alyssa Clips would put something up, or some other clip show would put something out, and I'd go and see what it's about, what's the latest on these guys, what other crazy stuff are they saying now. And then that's it. I didn't need to know anymore. But having just had my, Kickstarter reported and suspended, right? And just want to show you guys, what it is. Let me see, where is it? Which file is it? I mean, not file, I mean, which tab, right? So this is it here, right? Just kind of some background, like leading into the Kia Casino thing. So this is, as it says here, suspended, right? Suspended. It's almost like, somebody reported me this at about, well, I don't know when they reported it, but like, this is when they closed it out. Like, we weren't even gonna succeed anyway. But then I realized that they must have been reporting us every week because nothing moved. I know who these 3 people are that backed us. Actually, apart from one person, I know who these 5 people are, right? Most of these people who backed us because we've been talking with them. And some of them are our friends. And but now, like I was saying, this was done to save money for backers on freight costs. That's why I did a 2-in-1. That was alone. And the other thing, that alone, I should say. And the other thing was that it would make it easier for us to, for our distribution to handle as well, because it would save time. 2 things done at the same time. I mean, 2 things done in one time. Like, what's it called? Like, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the forest. So whatever, I know it's early morning, 3 a.m. But I was, I wanted to do something different. When it came to crowdfunding, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to show people that, we were going to come in here and have everything finished. And we did. We have everything finished, right? So, which is why, as we go into that, I'm just going to show you what I've been doing for the last, 8 hours since I finished the stream yesterday. Went to the chemist, came and shopping, and came back, had dinner, and just got into it, trying to figure out what to do. All right, what's the next? How do I react? Let's do a solo campaign for Howler on its own. Keep the momentum going. Keep the the momentum of everybody knowing what we're doing out there, so it's fresh in people's head. So all that's left for me to do now is trailer, right? Make the trailer. So let's go and let's watch Kino Casino, and I'll comment over it because they're commenting over something else. So it's going to be like EFABing the EFABing of the EFAB, right? As they say. And I think this is from 3 days ago. Yeah. So let me figure out if I can open that and still see. Yeah, I can. Okay. So I wonder if there's a shorter version of this because, here we go. So there was let's watch this Alex Stein one because I thought that was funny, right? Because I think the Alex Stein one's kind of gives you a really good, and I think Alex here is actually quite smart. So this is, I'll put the link in the chat. I'll put the title up as well so we can, I don't like just using other people's content without, putting the link out and also, letting you know where it's from. So this is from Elisa Clips. Elisa, how do you say it? Alisa or Elisa, right? Your pronunciation. So this is clipped by Elisa Clips, and I finished watching it about maybe 3 hours, 4 hours ago.
Want to talk some quartering with me?
So let me see if I can continue working on the work and have this open. So I've got 2 screens open in front of me, and the third one's around the other side, and I can't get to that one, because I want to be able to see what it's doing. Okay. So this is from Dappleverse. I keep hearing the name Dappleverse, but I don't know who they are. All right. So this is from Elisa Clips, and it's Alex Stein. Advice for Jeremy Handley, the quartering, May 14th, so 2 days ago.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get into Jeremy. Why not?
Yeah.
Let's get into Jeremy.
Do you know Jeremy? Have you met him?
I have, and I've always been friendly with Jeremy. I'm not like real close friends with Jeremy, but I will say this, that he is an internet veteran. He's been doing this a long time.
I know. So why is he so bad at this? He's navigating this horribly.
When it rains, it pours. At first, he was getting a little hate from the Kino Casino audience, and he's like, man, I need this to stop. I need this to stop because it was bugging him. And so he thought by taking away their Clips channel, which was like blowing up, it was really successful, that it would end it all. And I said this is the second time me saying this. It got the opposite of the intended effect. It only made them bigger. And he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have tried to deplatform him, especially a guy that goes. And this is the other thing. They even mentioned it on Candace Owens, mentioned it on her show, what Jeremy's going through. Jeremy goes in and attacks people all the time. So if you're going to get attacked, you can't be punitive and try to get people kicked off. It's, you're doing it too. I mean, you got to let it.
He spurgs out. I was just listening to Camelot had Sydney Watson on, who's a former co-host of his, and she's been silent about him for 18 months or something like that. But now that all this is coming out, people are like, hey, what's your experience with this guy? And he gets wasted at night and has these wild phone calls, and it's just like loses control, according to her. And they're like pretty close working together. And so like we wouldn't know about this shit, but Jeremy can't control himself. Now he's quit Twitter because he can't control himself on Twitter. So we talked about
Let me give you my inside baseball. I didn't even know if I was going to say this, but I will say this. I mentioned earlier how I'm friends with Tim. And Tim, a lot of people have different opinions. They think he's like an asshole. Tim Pool? Yeah, Tim Pool. He's actually a really laid back guy, likes to play poker. He's one of my best friends. And for some reason,
a note on Tim Pool, right? For me, like I was saying, how I stopped watching these other people a while back, about three and a half years ago. Elijah Blue, whatever her name was, right? When that thing popped off, I was actually watching them all the time, regularly, right? I'd go up there and go, man, what's wrong with Ian? Like, what is wrong with Ian? Like, he seems to be like, he must have done too much drugs, because he seems to like be the guy who's always going to be anti something. The way he speaks, it's like, it's not common sense. And I used to get aggravated, but I still watch the other people because I like to watch people talk and learn about other people's, like, because I'm also, it's kind of also because I interview people and have conversations with people, long conversations, right? 3 hours, 2 hours, whatever. I have an interest in people because of that, of my years of just, every day talking to like about 10, 20 people, because I've been in sales for, over a decade back then. And it just felt, I enjoy listening to people, right? New people that are coming on the channel, and I enjoy listening to them. But I would hate it whenever freaking Ian would speak. It would drive me nuts, bro. I was like, and I'll put in the chat, what is wrong with this dude? But I guess it made them work. I don't even know if he's still there. But when Alicia, oh, hold on, I don't even know. But I know that it was Brittany Venti who just went hard out on that lady, and it just, almost broke Tim Pool because of what was going on there. And also, not at the same time, they had the beard dude whose name I can't remember either, and it was like that also happened there. It's like, wait, your house is a mess, dude. Why are we actually watching you? You're like, oh, this is like, you're this big up, but like your own house is a mess. So you got people on there who are like, you haven't checked the backgrounds on. Not that you should have to, right? Because look, when you have people on, panel, you only, know them from online, right? And you do your best to be straight with them, and you hope that they're straight with you. But the whole thing with, I think it was Oh, and another, yeah, the same person that's involved in this was involved in the that gray beard guy thing, right? They made a whole meme out of it because he was doing some dodgy stuff with this like dodgy online OF type content. So there was that thing, and then there was Elisha Blue. Man, I can't remember the lady's name. I think it was Elisha Blue. Yeah, Elisha Blue. Let me see if Brittany Venti was the one that went hard to find out like what was going on with the Venti. But yeah, it was both of them around that time, and oh gosh. Oh yeah, wait, check this out, right? So let me just show you the three people who were involved then are now involved as well in this drama, right? But Venti is involved because she was lied about, right? And because Chrissy Meyer, right? And this is when I also stopped, right? Shit, it was 5 years ago. I thought it was 3 years ago, dude, when I stopped watching these people. Right? So you can see there, Elisa Blue. Elisa, is that how you say it? There's Brittany, and there's Chrissy Meyer, right? Chrissy right now is in the hot water because of everybody's saying, Melanie Mack, she was like sweeping. Her own chat said she was sweeping. So, and I don't know that her chat because I don't watch her channel, but I just haven't paid attention to these people, and not even Brittany Venti either, right? So no, it was 3 years ago. Here we go. Sorry. Yeah, let me play this. Wait, sorry. Hold on. Why is the volume? What's volume?
For her human trafficking advocacy is currently facing a lot of scrutiny. It all started from this thread that was posted on Twitter, essentially accusing Eliza of faking her status as a human trafficking survivor, posting many dates, links, and events that seem to contradict Eliza's story. The latest escalation is this tweet where she claims that non-consensual photos were posted of her on Twitter. The most prominent people affected by this are the Quartering and Brittany Venti, who were both suspended from Twitter. Where the controversy is that this video has been public for the last 6 years and also requires explicit consent forms to film this kind of content. Most importantly, it seems to contradict her human trafficking timeline, and it seems that she is now on a blocking and suspension spree for anyone who's asking her questions about this. And now Twitter is taking steps to discourage people from posting the clip, claiming that it is unsafe, even though it is, again, a public video. Eliza Blue, famous for her...
Yeah. So it was 3 years ago, right? I mean, like, I knew it was a while. I mean, at least around that time, three and a half years ago. But I got thrown off with like 5 years. I was like, oh wait. So yeah, these people, these things go around in circles. And usually, I also, whenever I sort of see sort of this stuff, I'm like, I feel like, man, I'm just glad I'm not in that public eye like that. I mean, I am public figure now, right? Because I'm on YouTube, whatever, and locally I am known as the comic guy. I know the mayor, I know certain funding agencies, prominent people. So, but the thing is, what I mean by, I'm glad I'm not in the public eye is because I like to keep to myself, right? But these people, like over time, everybody seems to like think that if you're online all the time, people forget what you do. But like everybody keeps reminding people, the internet's forever. Don't put your kids on the internet. Don't put dodgy stuff about yourself on the internet. Don't say things about other people that you don't want people to find out about you said, right? Because people who live on the internet all the time, gosh, man, like it's like being drunk all the time. You don't know what's coming out of your mouth because you forget, and everything eventually, man, it's got to come back around. yesterday I was really upset, and I started saying something about, because I knew somebody had reported our campaign, and I started saying some stuff, and then I said, no, I take it all back. I take it all back. I don't want that done to them. And it wasn't like something about death or anything. It was just like boils on your crutches, right? On your ball sacks, right? Boils that fester. And I was like, no, I don't want that to go out there into the world. No, I don't want that. Because I believe in karma. I know that things you say and do will eventually come back on you, right? And if you live by that sort of lifestyle or thought pattern, then you will treat people with respect. You won't go out of your way to harm people, right? But this video is pretty interesting because, it's kind of segue to Tim Pool, but like all those people and that spear, right? I just stopped watching 3 years ago. I put my head down and I started like just concentrating on working on my comics,
When Tim got swatted, and maybe this is a good idea. Jeremy went viral for buying all these $100 ads for his coffee company. Like, do you remember that at all? When the first time when Tim got swatted,
Yep.
And some people were critical. Some people thought it was funny. Tim kind of thought it was funny. But then I keep seeing the quartering kind of takes all these cheap shots at Tim, like Hannah Claire, the girl that got let go. The quartering immediately hired her to be his co-host, and he did that on purpose, trying to take some of.
He's so jealous of Tim Pool.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He does not. He acts like he's friends with Tim Pool, but he's really frenemies, and that's been my only issue. I don't like any of this news stuff, but I always kind of because I know one thing, you can criticize Tim's political viewpoints, but Tim actually is not trying to cancel people. He actually tries to help people. He tries to help me. He invites people on his show that have big followings, and he has people that have small followings. My point is, I know that it was Jeremy hiring his ex-employees, not Tim hiring Jeremy's ex-employees.
Right.
So, like, it's just weird that Jeremy was trying to do that, and he kind of gave it this veneer. Oh, it's just friends. I just like we have similar audiences. But I think it was a little more conniving and not just trying to be a good old jolly nice guy trying to help out Tim's employees. I thought he was trying to troll Tim a little bit. That's how I took it. No,
it's come out Jeremy's not a great guy. I think that's the consensus. And he's realizing himself that he needs to calm down.
Imagine holding a leftist struggle session and thinking they're good guys. I felt so bad for her. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just not going to do any drama. Again, people are like, where's your Twitter? Twitter was not good for me. I was getting sucked in. I was getting sucked in to it and being cringe, and it was bad. And but I did see what they did to Chrissy, and that was dumb. Can't wait to see Chrissy on the channel, though. Been a while. I don't know. I haven't heard from her. I hope.
So Chrissy started off her show on Sunday night, the one where she brought on Brittany, saying, disavowing the quartering. I'm going to be honest with you, unlike the quartering, striking channels is bullshit. So all of a sudden, from not knowing anything about it on Wednesday night with Melanie Mack and being confused by the whole thing, a few days later, she's like totally shunning the quartering. So she's already decided she's done with Jeremy. And Jeremy's just like, yeah, maybe she'll come back. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I think.
Well, just a bit of input here about that whole situation. It's proven that she knew everything, because 2 weeks earlier, side scrollers, because I never watched that channel either until I'm about comics and creating comics and music. So if you're not doing music and if you're not creating comics, or if you're not talking about wrestling or have wrestling, or movie trailers or manga or anime, I really don't go out and watch all these other channels. And even like recently, right, people were going like, go on to all these other channels to promote your comic book. I'm like, what channels? Right? Because I've just been working. And whenever I have a spare time, I try to make time, schedule the live streams. And I was supposed to live stream the day before yesterday. And then I looked at my diary or whatever, calendar thing. It said, you got to send up 2 contracts, NDAs, and so forth to people. And I'm like, oh man, can't do that tomorrow. It's like, I got to stream tomorrow. So yeah, I'm not going to stream today on my own day. So I spent like 3 hours sorting that out. But it's been proven, right, that Chrissy Mayer, whatever her name is, knew that everything about quartering and everything about Kino Casino that quartering did, right? Taking away her the income of their clipper, right? Who's the editor who's putting this clipping, like this clip we're putting here, which we're watching, we're watching currently. You're about to continue watching. It's by Alicia Clips, right? So the clipper, which was Casino Clips, was a guy with kids and a wife and a home, right? And he was doing that full time, clipping, watching their 8-hour streams and clipping little bits and pieces and then putting in there, which was going to work. And so that's how people got them to know on YouTube, because they're on Kick. I mean, we've got a channel, I put out, what's that called? Like a channel up there. We haven't actually done anything there, really. Also on Rumble, we just put like, re-uploads of YouTube streams on Rumble. Just kind of like, being everywhere we can be to show people what we're doing, like right now, right? On here on YouTube. So they took that channel down because Kino, and it wasn't even Kino's channel. It was the guy working for himself, clipping the channel, right? The editor, right? So it had nothing to do with them. It was just this dude on his own. But the guy was earning a living from that channel. And this moron canceled, right? Jeremy Henley, the quartering, reported it and got the channel shut down. And Chrissy Mayer knew it, but she kept saying that she didn't. Doing that thing with on that live stream she did, right? With Melanie Mac. She just like, I don't know nothing about oranges. And then her chat called her out, said, you're sweeping. What about the oranges, and all this? What are these oranges? Because it had to do with the shorts where he was stealing the content of other creators and saying it was his creation, that it was his clip, right? So that's been like the last 3 weeks, right? But the thing was that Chrissy Meyer knew about it, and then she swept for it, and then she called Brittany Venti a liar, and it just blew up, right? And now it's really blowing up because now this dude, if he had left it alone, and they would have laughed at him and they would have moved on. But now it's blowing up where he is. We're finding out that this dude is actually a predator, a sexual predator with women. And people are coming out of the woodworks. People who actually work for him, like Sydney Watson. And we'll look at that in a minute. And I'll continue working.
Chrissy was being a little coy, acting like she didn't know the drama. She might not have known all of it, but she definitely knew having Melanie Mac on there's drama. I will say this is the only thing I think Jeremy can do to fix this situation, and I don't think he's going to do it. He has to have some money saved up. He needs to go off the internet for 60 to 90 days and lose weight. And I'm telling you, I'm not even kidding, because everybody's going to bash him, but he needs to lose about 50 pounds, get on Retta or Ozempic or whatever. Because if
get on a treadmill.
Get on a treadmill. But I'm saying, if he tries to act like, if he tries to do the Christian LARP, it's not going to work.
He's doing that. Yeah,
I know, and that's it. That he probably gets a little sympathy and a little support by doing that. But
I gotta add something here, man. This dude has to stop doing the whole Christian LARPing thing. It's gross, and so does Melanie Mac. It's really gross. If you're regular, you know that I have a Christian background, right? 20 years ago, it's been a long time since I was a Christian, and I have read the Bible. I have been in various churches, Catholic, Methodist, Anglican. I think Anglican might not be Anglican. Presbyterian. I did mention Methodist. When I got married, my wife was a Methodist, right? Pentecostal, fundamental, whatever, all these different things. So, you know, for about a decade or so, in and out, right? But when I see people behave the way they do as so-called conservative Christians with channels, I find it gross. So I try to like keep away from those people, right? And this is the most I've actually watched of this thing because it's drama. Because I just play it in the background while I'm working, you know, catch up on clips. And recently, because I set up for myself and for the Zero Monkey thing with Tim, Timothy, we basically so that we could have other avenues to go onto if we get cancelled here, right? Because we just got our Kickstarter suspended because somebody didn't like us, accused us of being bigots and stuff. Maybe because they hurt their feelings, because they felt challenged that we could get our work done before taking to Kickstarter. But yeah, I mean, please, Jeremy, don't do it, man, because when you do that, you actually put people off Christianity. And for me, real Christians are really good people. I know what real Christians are, and I know what fake people are, fake Christians are, and he's one of them. Because the last thing a real Christian would do is use their belief in God to excuse their horrible behavior, like predatory behavior, as the ladies are coming out and saying, and being an alcoholic. Right? Nobody would excuse no pastor, right? No preacher worth his salt as a Christian would excuse someone going online, right, e-thoughting their audience and reading Bibles, Bible verses and stuff, and grifting for super chat money, or looking at little girls at Ren fairs, right? Or their mothers and saying, "Ooh, look at that MILF. Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's a bit too fat for me." It's just gross. It's like, ugh. And actually live streaming that, by the way. So yeah, I'm kind of up on this because of that. Because I just this is like I said, 3 years ago, I stopped watching all these people. And now 3 years later, they're all getting destroyed by themselves by their own behavior. Sadly, I just, in the old days, you say like, there I go, but for the grace of God, all right?
I'm saying is if he really wants to shut up the haters, he needs to take a step back and get dialed in, get off the alcohol and lose 30 or 40 pounds and come back as a new Jeremy. Then we might believe that he's changed. But until he changes
what's his talent though? Like I've gone back
stealing content, stealing
right. I review podcasts for a living. We covered the Quartering not that long ago, before all of this blew up, and his content is boring. He doesn't add anything. He reads these articles. He says like, I'm gonna hire a staff of people and put in some B-roll and make.
That's basically another thing. It's just so boring, bro. It's just crazy. Like just reading an article that's already out, you're not actually creating anything. I mean, like we're e-fabbing, right? We're adding to it, right? And I enjoy that. I actually enjoy people adding to things because that's being creative with it, making jokes, laughing at it, whatever, right? But just reading an article and going, oh, yeah, I wish that didn't happen. Or, oh, what do you think, chat? That's it. It's like low energy stuff.
These videos more interesting, and then he doesn't. Doesn't do anything.
Jeremy's most famous thing, the thing he got the most clicks for, was going after that actress Brie Larson. Mm-hmm. And so you made 1,000 videos on Brie Larson, and you're going to get mad at the Kino Casino for making 1,000 videos about you.
Right.
Come on. Yeah, you do this. You do this too, dude. You know how the game is played.
I hope she just has her job back after I hope that she just has her job back after.
So I think he's talking about Friday Night Tights. Do you think Chrissy will ever be back on that?
I mean, it depends on how punitive Gary wants to be. After all the backlash, that's the problem, is that the clip going viral and then Jeremy defending the clip, it was all, then you had to get Garrett, quarterback Garrett got involved. That all made it worse for Chrissy. If this would have been not so public and him not having her on the show, if nobody would have known, but because it became such a issue when it was a non-issue, now I feel like he might have to double down and be like, oh, we need to distance ourselves at least for a while. And then how does he bring her back? Which I think he could. I'm not saying that he won't, but now that's a little awkward. Then we got to address the elephant in the room. So he might kind of kick that can down the road. So I don't know. I think the chances are that he's going to have her back. I think he will, but I think he's going to wait a little while.
Yeah, I think he had to wait it out, right?
Yeah.
Weather the storm a little bit.
What she had to go through, I can get Chrissy to fill in, but I don't want to cause any more problems for Chrissy. So let's just let her be.
You caused her a lot. You caused her a shit ton.
No shit.
When
I
he
tried to
defended,
defend-
when he
Chrissy
tried
put
to,
herself in that situation. But
she did, but it made it so much worse when he quote tweeted at him and was like, I thought they were First Amendment, blah, 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 blah. Like, he was trying to white knight for Chrissy, and it just made Chrissy look worse. If Chrissy would have had him not defend her, she would have been in a lot better situation. But that made everybody have to react and go after.
That's what I mean. When you're like, Jeremy's been around forever. He's a veteran on this. How does he not know how any of this works? He's making everything worse for himself and the people who are, trying to help him out.
Carl, you know this. If you followed your own advice, you'd be the most successful man in the world. If I followed my own advice, I would be the most successful.
I know what you mean.
Oftentimes,
Jared only made it worse.
Follow our own
So
advice.
I don't want to.
Yeah, most of us like are good at giving advice, but we never take it, right? But if you do take your own advice, you'd be a better person. I was thinking about this very thing today, actually, yesterday, sorry, because it was the day before, because I was talking to I recently interviewed a comic creator, and after the live stream, we talked for another hour or so off stream, and just chatting away, talking about stuff, and he was showing me his work, and I said, well, what do you think? I think you should do this. Go talk to such and such, and that because I can see what he could do it, but I couldn't because I'm not an artist. But because he's an artist, he could actually do it, and it would work for him. But me not being an artist, it wouldn't work for me because I can't go out there and go, well, this is my drawing, because it's not, right? Or this is my character. Well, it's actually, my artist is doing it. I'm the creator. I could do that in that way. But what he was doing was very special, unique to his own sort of area, right? And his own community, and it would really work for him. And I was thinking, well, man, if I only was able to do that myself, it would work for me too. So yeah, you can give advice, marketing advice and stuff, but it might not work for yourself, but it might work for others, right? So don't hold back that advice you have that you see that somebody might need, because you think, oh, it didn't work for me, so it's not going to work for them. Because, like I said, it might work for them, even if it didn't work for you.
Everyone else is getting all this bullshit, and it sucks for them. And the best thing I can do is just let everyone be. I don't want to. I wish everyone the best.
Sure.
I wish everyone the best.
God, way to say nothing. I wish everyone the best. What does that even mean?
He doesn't wish everybody the best. He wants Kino Casino deplatformed. He wants Yellow
Yep.
Flash off the internet.
Yeah.
So, and unless Jeremy decides to do, maybe not rehab, but basically he needs to go to rehab and come back and look different and be in shape or better shape, nobody's going to take him seriously. He has to take a step back.
All right. Well, I'm glad you brought that up. So he's on with his co-host Melanie Mack here from This Week, and he's talking about how he quit X and why he did that with Melanie.
Will Anthony, I'm rooting for you guys. Those gay trolls need to touch some grass. Hey, I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, all the
Will.
extra kind words, and when you watch the videos, taking a little extra time to make sure to leave a like on it, and that goes a long way. This too shall pass. I have been praying a lot every single day now, sometimes twice a
The
day.
grift, the grossness of it all, you know, and Kino, like PPP, right, from Kino was saying, and so you haven't been praying before? So you're praying now, but you haven't been praying before, right? But the thing is, like, this is like what they say, like wearing like a mask. Like religion to these people like is a mask, right? You can take it off whenever you want. And that's why, like, I couldn't do that. I was like, no, I can't do that, and therefore I won't be a Christian anymore. Right? I'll just live my life the good way that I can think of, treat people, you know, the best I can, and treat myself the best I can, and just, you know, just be true to myself, right? And that way I don't have to feel like I have to put on something, a smile every day, because even when I don't feel like it, or, you know, show up places even when I don't feel like showing up, you know, whatever. You know, the things that, like, you know, like he's doing, right? I got to do this because I have a contract, you know, with Rumble or whatever. I got to read these freaking adverts, even though it's so low tier that nobody likes them, because his own chat is saying to stop reading these adverts, man. But no, he needs that ad revenue, right? Because that's all he does is get on there and read other people's news articles, right? The work that everybody else has done, you know, and without any extra input, because when you're like streaming all day, you're not really getting any other input apart from what's out there on other people's content, right? You're not doing anything else. One thing I really found really disgusting was all the time was like, money, give me money, give me money. I need money for this. I need money for this. They're taking my channel. They're doing this. New GoFundMe, right? Startup. Oh, wait, 6 months later. Oh, but he's wearing Rolexes, dude. It's like, I'm a rich, fake, poor. He's basically, you know, if you really think about it, he's like Hassan Piker, right? The socialist, communist, capitalist, right? But he's out there going, everybody, you know, should share everything, and everything, you know, should be cheap and all this. But like, he's driving around in this freaking $200,000 car. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I stopped watching any of these people. And not like everybody's like basically fake now, right? Well, not everybody, but a lot of these people, you know, both on the left, both on the right. That's why it's like, I'm a center left, just walk down the middle. According to, you know, American politics, we don't have such things in New Zealand, you know, left and right and all that. We're just like, yeah, we're just regular people. Today we'll be like this. Today, tomorrow we'll vote like this. Whoever, you know, whoever we like, we'll vote for them according to whatever they have to do good for, you know, their policies work for us or not, for our people, right? That's how I voted. Like, okay, so you're going to do this for our country. Okay, let's try you for 4 years. No, okay, sorry, you're out. Not voting for you again. You know, so we don't have like this vote Republican for life or not, or Democrats for life. We don't have that in New Zealand.
He's doing all the lol cow stuff right now. He's like, come on, guys. You guys are on my side, right? You got to hit the like. God's on my side. I'm trying to do that. And listen to Melanie in this clip. She's the biggest cheerleader. It comes across as almost like she's trolling him. If I didn't know any better, I would think that she was fucking with him, making fun of him to his face.
To try and just keep my mind off it, because, you know, as people know, you know, I left social media, which has been, it's only been a couple of days, but I already feel like.
Time out there, pause real quick.
Yeah.
You didn't leave social media, Jeremy, if you're on a live stream on YouTube. I have to break it to you. YouTube is another social media platform.
Not only that, the irony of this clip, the thing that's amazing about this, Alex, is he's talking about how he deleted his X account. They're currently looking at X.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's on a burner again. See, if you actually leave the internet, Jeremy, that means you're not on YouTube, you're not on Facebook, you're not on Twitter, you're not on Instagram. That's leaving the internet. You deactivating your Twitter temporarily is not leaving the internet.
Right. So. And he's looking at X right here, and it says, you know, he's looking at the persistence, and he's following, and they're following him back. So this isn't like a brand new account that he started. You know what I mean? So
he's so full of shit. He's looking
so
at Twitter
full of shit.
saying, I would be like, Jeremy, if you're watching this, dude, how can I defend you, dude? You're saying you're off Twitter while you're fucking on Twitter.
We're on Twitter currently, you idiot.
I feel way less pull to like be checking it. You know?
And like, yeah, don't let anybody make you feel bad about leaving social media. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your own, like, yeah, just for yourself. And because you know.
Dude, this is why I don't like her. Right. It's like they're both grifters. She's an e-thought grifting on the people who think, you know, and she said it like she said on Chrissy Meyer's thing, I saw a clip of that, where she says, I lost 1,000 followers, subscribers, because I told them, you know, I told my chat that I was actually married. See, it's like those 1,000 people are actually living a fake fantasy of that maybe someday, you know, she'll be with them. It's a really weird parasocial relationship these people have, you know, with these so-called influencers, right? It's really gross. It's weird. And CoffeeZilla, man, you guys got to watch this. I was watching a couple of CoffeeZilla episodes before. Let me see if I can find it. And I watched one which is like this big, huge $300 million Ponzi scheme ripping off retirees, man. And one of the guys was actually featured in it, was a New Zealand investigator. And I was like, wait. At first I thought he was Australian. And then he said, oh, from New Zealand. When I got back to New Zealand, I was like, oh. I was like, they were like basically like it's an American person, but he was ripping off people from around the world, even here in New Zealand and Australia, right? So let me see if I can find you that, because I really want everybody to watch that and the AI one, man. So let me find CoffeeZilla. Oh, the other thing, you gotta check out Luther Morgan. He's my new favorite go-to short doco streamer, man. It's Luther the writer, right? Because he's been talking about like the coffee company side of things. Because I'm a coffee addict. I have like a bag, like a 500 gram of coffee bag just sitting there, while I still have like coffee beans, right? Because I grind my own coffee, so I make sure I buy kgs or 500 grams of coffee, because I gotta have that every day, right? To kickstart my freaking day. Now, CoffeeZilla is what we were talking about. Here we go. And so yes, that's why I was watching Elijah Blue thing. So here's let me just Elijah Blue thing. The CoffeeZilla thing, right? No, sorry, the Luther thing. His channel about that, and we'll just have a look at that quickly. But did you know that Tim Pool's coffee distributor company has a C rating because they had rat feces on the ground and dust on everything in their warehouse where they make grind the coffee. You can find that out by watching the Luther Morgan, So this is what I was watching, right? $300 million was stolen from retirees, bro. And people who weren't even looking at retiring, they were like, we'll help them get retired, right? So do check this out.
God-given gift was that.
Was his mouth? Was his fakeness? So this is the guy, Kiwi dude, right? Looks like weird there. But
$100,000 in, sold her house.
Yeah, listen to this. Right. And I know it's at the end of it, but it's a really good, video. it's just like, it made me really feel sad because I'm 53, but I'm thinking like people who are like 70s and 60s, and you know, they think it's a good thing. They get talked into it, and they lose their whole livelihood. They lose their homes and stuff. So he's talking about this lady in New Zealand, right? Our neck of the woods. And it's just, I mean, she might not even have kids or anybody to look out for her, right? This is the other thing, is like when you get older and everybody's left and you're just home by yourself, or even your partner's passed away and you're alone, right? It's a terrible situation sometimes, because I'm just reminded of my grandmother. Even if you're surrounded by your family, you still feel lonely. And my grandmother back in Fiji starved herself to death because my granddad had died about, I guess, 30 years ago. And she got to a point where in her 80s, she just didn't want to live no more. You know, remembering that she doesn't have him around, you know, and she felt like, you know, there was nothing to live for, and she just starved herself to death. She just stopped eating. She had her back was like broken and stuff, so she had a hard time, like, you know. And I think there's, and in that time period, like, you know, when she was married at 13 years old, right? Way back then, I think it was about 13 or something like that. And so, hard life, you know. Raised 7 kids. And so when I look at people mistreating elderly people and stuff, I'm like, and you know, stealing from them and stuff, I'm like, what the hell, man? It's just really, really sad.
Actual court filings, and he said, we haven't got that yet. How did you get it? I said,
so
Canada, 230 odd thousand.
Okay, here we
go. And we were both talking, this is never gonna happen.
I actually, when I found out, I actually burst into tears, mate. I'll tell you. Even when I got back to New Zealand, my partner was taking a photo of me walking through, and I just burst into tears. It just hits you like a ton of bricks, this sort of stuff. And even just before we talked to you today, I've just found another lady that's in Canada, 230 odd thousand, put $100,000 in, sold her house, put the proceeds of her house into the investment, and also put some credit card money in there, and now she's just realized it's a scam, and she doesn't feel like she's got anyone to help her.
It's brutal. This has affected so many lives so negatively. I'm so happy that he's getting charged, as he should.
We don't even really want this sort of result. You know, it's not why we do it. It is actually just trying to make a difference. The power of our investigations is where I'm prideful of that. The team that I have of volunteers.
This dude was throwing $5 million parties with retirees' money. Right? This American Mexican dude. This dude here. Oh yeah, the other one I wanted you guys to go check out before this as well is CoffeeZilla's AI deepfakes thing. That was 2 months ago, but I didn't even realize it was 2 months ago. But this is a good one to check out as well from CoffeeZilla. And we'll get back to the other one. Is that? Oh yeah, this is, I think it's that one. Hold on, let me get the actual. There it is. That's the wrong one. So yeah, do watch this, man. This one's crazy as well, because it currently, like, the thing about like AI now is that you can't tell what's real, what's not, and that's what people want, really, you know, because that means you can't trust people, you can't trust society, you can't trust politicians, which we don't normally do, right? Anyway, but I mean, like, you just can't trust anyone because everybody's going to be faked. Putting news out there that's fake, you know, this is really important, man. Like, do check out this video. I won't play it here because I was, you know, because we've got this other thing going on. And let's get back to that. Where are we? Alex. There's Alex. Yeah. So let's go get the title back on the screen. There we go.
You know, like, hey, if this is
Hold
getting,
up. Let's go back a bit.
Be
that's
checking
good.
it. You know,
A brand new account that he started. You know what I mean? So
He's so full of shit. He's looking
so
at
full
Twitter
of shit.
saying, I would be like, Jeremy, if you're watching this, dude, how can I defend you, dude? You're saying you're off Twitter while you're fucking on Twitter.
We're on
Like,
Twitter currently, you idiot.
I feel way less pull to like be
That's
checking
good.
it. You know,
And like, yeah, don't let anybody make you feel bad about leaving social media. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your own, like, yeah, just for yourself. And because you know, like, hey, if this is getting to you, it's good to flee from it. So
yeah.
what you need to
Good
do
stuff,
until like you feel like you're ready. Otherwise, I think that's great.
So fake.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, you can still find me in Discord though, guys.
Okay, great.
Well, and Carl, I'm not trying to be ignorant though, but
Yeah.
why are people mad at Melanie because she's not holding him accountable? Because I saw her in a couple comments getting hated on.
Yeah.
But what is her most egregious thing that she's done other than kind of be, defending Jeremy? Has she actually done anything?
She has defended him. She's on the payroll. And listen, I think what Jeremy has done is egregious and he deserves a lot of the shit that he's getting. But it's also just turned into like a giant hate mob.
Yeah.
And the pitchforks are out now at this point. So they're just stabbing anyone who's standing in the way. You know what I mean? Like it's gotten to the point. And Kino Casino does a brilliant job of getting people revved up. They're
the best
stream.
right now. They have the PPP is so fucking funny with
I
that
know.
triangle. It's so fucking.
I got it. Hats off to PPP and Worski. They're killing it over there at Kino Casino. The 10-hour stream, I watched most of it this week. I'm all in on this. It's hilarious. But listen to what Jeremy says. So to your point you were making before, he's got to get off the internet, lose some weight, stop drinking. He agrees. I think.
My thing is just having more time to. I'm also so I'm like doing a triple detox, like so no no liquor, no nicotine. So
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You know, it's been like 4 days. Like,
do you see why people don't like Melanie? This is so lame. It's like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, relax, Melanie. He hasn't done anything.
It's just over the top fakeness. It's like I come from an acting background, like not movie, theater, right? Stage. So it's all like for me, I can tell when someone kind of tell when someone's faking it, and this is like just over the top. I actually about 26, 24 years ago, I actually had that color hair. Right. Let me show you what also my hair was like just before it was that color, right? So my hair at one point, because I was doing a stage drama, right, stage play that I wrote and acted in and directed and produced with friends, and about I think we had like a group of 30 people that we acted. So my face actually for this is actually painted silver, right? And my head over here has got a tubes when I'm on stage. It's got tubes poking out of it. So this is during that week of when we're like actually doing the production or so, and it was a sci-fi thing. So I was like sitting in a chair, or like my friend had like designed it, like painted, put like glued down sand, and he'd like made it really rough, and so it got texture, and then he like spray painted silver all over that, and then like I had tubes sticking out of my back of my head, because I'm really, I was talking about yesterday about Star Trek and Captain Harlow, so my head was all silver, right, for the stage production that I wrote called Life, right, and so, but when you look at Melody Mack here, just before that, my hair was this color here, right? Which is why I'm mentioning my hair and all that. Is that I actually went to Bible college one day with my hair this color, and my pastor said to me, "I don't want to see you here tomorrow with that color." That was it. So I went home and went and saw my friend, and I said, "Hey, we got to go change this back." I am a 27-year-old male at that point, being told that go home, change your hair back to black, right? Because the night before, the afternoon before, I bleached it. My friend had come over, we bleached it, and then we colored it fire engine red, right? I think it was called fudge or whatever that back then, 20 odd years ago, you know. And I just remember looking at this. I think Brittany, there's a video by Brittany Venti yesterday talking about how she's a 40 years old with bright red hair, complaining about SJWs with bright blue hair, dressing like a 6-year-old girl. And it reminded me like, dude, you had red hair that color. And yeah, and I was like, oh, thank God I don't anymore. But I used to be a punk. So, bleach your hair. Also, I've got this other one. So you can talk about hair, man. Why am I talking about? Anyway, we're talking about hair because of that. So you can see here, right? This is from me from about 2005, right? That's my dreadlocks. So I've always had something going on with my hair. So just me putting it red wasn't a big deal, right? I actually had my hair like brown, bleach brown or something like that, and blonde. It used to be longer. So I've always had something. I do something different with my hair, but like the fact that Brittany pulled that, Brittany Venti pulled it up, talked about that yesterday in the short clip that I saw, was that it just made me remember like at 27, was the last time I colored my hair. And at 35, maybe was the last time I had long hair. Now I'm bald. All right. Years of bleaching, I reckon. But then again, it might be hereditary because my granddad got bald early as well.
I could see she's being a little cheesy, but I would argue that, dude, Jeremy, you need to be using all the nicotine you can handle right now. Just to get off everything else. I don't think you actually like. If nicotine will make you not eat a cheeseburger, if nicotine will kind of chill you out for a second, have all the nicotine you want, Jeremy.
That's great. That's great.
Like, yeah, all those things were like feeding into each other. So it's just like, cut that, stop being cringe on social media, cut the liquor, which I think, there's the lore about how much I drink versus how much I actually drink. But like,
you never want to have to say that. Well, people think I drink a ton. I only drink a lot.
Yeah. His drinking history is very weird because like there's one where I saw a clip where he's clearly drunk on a podcast. He's like, "Oh, I haven't drinking today," and he's like wasted. So
it's like
I don't
a
know
Chad
why.
Zubak move.
Yeah, exactly. But I will defend Melanie, and this is a little shot at her, but I'm not trying to take a huge shot. Melanie is a hot girl, so she's used to guys simping for her, and Jeremy is like the world's biggest simp. So I think she talks to him like she talks to her simps, where
I didn't know about that. Maybe we just let Alex finish.
She's like, "Oh, that's so cute. That's so nice." That's just how she talks to him because she knows that Jeremy likes her, and so that's how she deals with the guys that are obviously sexually attracted to her and like her for her looks, and maybe likes her personality too. But that's how she talks to simps. She's going to be nice. She realizes as an attractive woman, you shouldn't alienate the simps. You should try to get them to like you, and I think that's why Melanie is.
I agree with that part. That she's just this ethos, right? Simping, playing to the simps. But I did see a little video of her. Man, why am I just realized I'm like just doing this now instead of working. Let me find a little video of, what did I search for that? I think it was Kino Casino mentioned it. I was like, wait, what? So it was like Melly Amfest, something like Amfest, and it was Jeremy Hanley. Because they mentioned, I was like, oh, I wonder if there's like clip about that on YouTube, and sure enough, there is. So check this clip out. Melanie It's weird where she spells it out. Amfest. Here we go. So I don't know when. Oh, this is 4 months ago. Okay, so she's only just joined them, maybe. Well, I don't know. I don't even pay attention to these people until these past couple of weeks when the Kino thing cancellation blew up. But have a look at this, man. So this is from something called Amfest Festival. AM. I don't know what that means. But so actually, I'll read the thing later, right? So this is the thing for the link for it. So this is his co-host, and she's joined, right? But the weird thing is, the other side of like about tattoos is that if you're a Christian, you're not supposed to have tattoos because you're not supposed to mark your body, right? And the thing there is that it's like it's sacred unto God kind of thing. I have tattoos and I always try to keep them covered because I remember like I was around I went to the beach with my family, my sister's family, and her 3 kids, and the youngest one, I babysat him when he was a kid. Spent like an entire year just hanging, looking after him just about every other day, because my sister had to go back to work, right? And so I lived just up the road, and I'd just go down. I mean, I was floating up the road. I'd just go down. When she called me up, 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it was, until his dad came home. She'd go up at lunchtime to work. She'd do the night shift, so on, and then between the 3 hours before dad came back home from work, mum, in between mum and dad. Anyway, I'd go and look after him. And then a couple of years ago, he was like about 5 or something, or 7, and we went to the beach, and I've got this huge, not huge, but like the size of my hand, like, fingers all, spread out, my hand, right? Size skull on my chest from that I tattooed myself, and I had a cousin finish off, and I never liked it ever since because it wasn't finished off the right way, and I've never tried to fix it, but it's there. So I have a tattoo of the Punisher skull on my chest. So and my sister said, like, just wear a t-shirt, bro, just cover it up, because the nephew looks up to you as a kid, he's probably going to want to, get it, you're going to influence him as his, his favorite uncle and so on. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll cover it up. But she's like out here, right? She's the Christian Bible reading ethos, simping, with lots of simps who dream about whatever, gooning to her while she's talking and reading Bible to them, especially maybe the weak Christians who haven't really, or the young ones, think it's okay, whatever. But like, this is a bad role example of someone you want out here representing such things. Now, if you are not a Christian, you just laugh. But if you're kind of like thinking about it, you'd probably think that's the best thing. But if you're for real, you'd be like, dude, what's up with this person doing this? Yeah. But listen to this.
Yeah. Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight, and Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere family-oriented.
Watch your
I
face.
can watch football with you guys?
You can. I would love that.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Wow, thanks, Melanie. I'm not here.
Yeah.
We just didn't know if you
wanted to,
but I would love
I'm
it.
great at
Yeah.
watching sports, and by that I mean I'm solidly okay.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, well, we got to figure out where we're going to go. I have a dinner place I want to go, but I got to call.
Okay.
A football game tonight, and
Yes.
Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, this was a content thing. JD, don't watch this channel, but know who he is because of something about the gaming thing blew up. So, this is called. Did I put that in there? No, I didn't. So, but I put the link there. Yeah, I did. But here's the title of that. I should put the title up, right? So it goes, while streaming, this is last year. So while streaming, Jeremy Hambley tried to get Melanie Mac to go out on a date with him. Remember, this guy's married, man. She asked the co-host Hannah Claire Bremelo for help, and in doing so, Quartering's heart shattered and his balls dropped. I guess his ugly wife will have to pretend she's happily married for a little longer. It's weird. I mean, this is like, someone that, but like, here's the weird thing, right? So, Knight here goes of the Tifa cult. Jared just became 4 months ago, right? She became a Christian after Charlie Kirk. Now he's already trying to cheat on his wife. A real Christian there. So people are seeing what he is, right? Isn't this dude married? Help me. Wow. Shout out to Hannah for protecting Mel from that creep weirdo. That helped me look more like she was scared and not just joking, like, help me out of this one. Yeah, I was like thinking the same thing. I was like, something like, what the fuck? It's weird, like, this whole parasocial thing online is weird, right? Oh yeah, this is what, like, the dress code thing, right? So, as I mentioned about her, the dress code and the hair thing that I just talked about, my hair, right? I think it was this one here. She was the one, like, this is what made me remember that I used to have red hair. Just that, exactly that red. Only for 24 hours. One time. Back in the 2000s. Early 2000s. Must be about 2002.
The past with Sailor Moon characters on her shirt, on a tie-dye shirt. This is straight up like, I came back from Hot Topic. It's too much. It's too much. She needs to go back. Melanie, you need to go back to like the cherry cola hair when you had it long and that cherry cola purple and you were wearing darker colors and like simpler outfits that looked more mature, even though it was seen as like immature. It was more mature than this. Like you got to go back to that. This is, I'm being for real. This is not it. This is.
Yeah. Links in the chat. You guys can watch a little later. Let's go back to Aaron. But yeah, it's. I didn't even, like I said, I don't watch these people, right? So I didn't even know her hair was red until she pulled it out, and pulled it out like pointed it out like this. But yeah, I was 27 and I only had red hair for 24 hours, and I just went, okay. Now let's go spend another $20 to get my hair changed back after I spent $40 yesterday to change it red.
Nice and almost kind of like a mom to him.
Yeah, it makes sense. I've told this story multiple times, but since I'm talking to you, you and I were both at Chrissy Mayer's wedding, and that was the time I got to meet Melanie Mac, and I walked right over to her and introduced myself, hoping she'd be like, "Holy shit, Carl, from who are these podcasts?" I got nothing. I was like, all
she
right.
acted like she didn't even know you. Yeah,
no, she didn't, which is fine. Why would she? But I was like, oh, okay. Well, nice to meet you.
Clips, but that is another thing. You were probably not simping. If you would have simped for her, she probably would have been like, oh, hey, Carl.
You're right. God damn it. I fucked up. I should have been more of a simp.
But I think Melanie out of Jeremy, out of the two, Melanie means well too. Like Jeremy doesn't necessarily mean as well. He's hiring temples, less employees. I don't think Melanie Mac is for cancellation or all the stuff that Jeremy's doing. So that's why I don't want to.
Well, she should speak out more then, because she's not doing that.
Well, this is another thing though, Carl, and you've been in this situation where I saw somebody in the chat. Oh, you can't criticize your friends. Yes, you can kind of privately criticize your friends more, but publicly on a podcast, even if you disagree with somebody you've been co-hosting with for a long time, it's hard to do that. It's hard to be like, hey, you're doing it wrong on a public platform. So it's not as easy as her being like, hey, you're an idiot, Jeremy, even though that's what we all want. We all want that.
Yeah.
But their interpersonal relationship, that's too awkward for her to do that. And that's why we don't understand that awkward feeling that she's having and why she's not saying it.
And people will give me shit, but I've been very critical of Shuli for striking Mentor Math. I did not realize until Mentormath was on Stuttering John last month that they gave him 3 strikes and took his channel down. So I've asked Shuli about that directly. He's not answered that question. He won't until after the
Well,
lawsuit,
the biggest bullshit is that Karmic lost his channel, dude. We need
Yeah.
Karmic's channel back. That was ridiculous.
Dude, I mean, he said some of the most heinous shit about me specifically,
Yeah.
and I don't give a fuck. You know?
Yeah, he's
He
a
can harass
crazy
me all he
guy.
wants.
Yeah, he's like another guy that's one level above being homeless, and God
Right.
bless him for that. I mean, what do you
And again, rural Minnesota. What is wrong with people in rural Minnesota? They're all fucking crazy.
Dude, it's. I mean, okay, not that Rochester's that much better, but Rochester's a lot better than rural Minnesota. You know what I mean? Like, they're literally Minneapolis is the biggest city, and they go to Minneapolis. It's run by Somalis, so like they have nowhere to run to. So I would just say that Karmic, these guys, when you mess with a homeless person and they call you the N-word or they call you something, that's just how homeless people operate. So when you're messing with somebody that has nothing to lose, that's usually the most dangerous person to mess with.
Alex, I want to play one more clip for you. I know you have to go, and you've been very gracious with your time today, so thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate you having me. It's always
Dude,
fun to come on.
You've been fantastic.
Come on and talk.
But since we're talking about Kino Casino, this is what PPP was laying out there, and I agree with them. I have examples of what he's talking about.
Oh, what the moment you start focusing on the trolls and defeating the trolls, and he's like asking for super chats to own the trolls, you've become DSP. Like, the content is no longer in service of your audience that likes you. It's now in service to the trolls and trying to defeat the trolls. And what happens when you do that is all of your actual audience goes away or becomes converted into trolls.
Very well said. I've seen this happen time and time again. You saw it happen with Aaron Imholt. You know, that's why he's on a blocking spree for so long. Stuttering John, obviously, this happened to him. It's like you can't devote your show to just saying like, well, Shuli knew, and, you know, Lady K likes men, or whatever the fuck he's saying about all of us nonstop. It's just like, well, just do your content then. If you're so great, then just do what people enjoy about you. Don't get into the drama. And that's what the quartering is doing right now. As PPP points out, it's like it's too much about the hate that he's getting and not enough about like, all right, well then why should people watch your show? Is it you have some cool conservative views that we haven't heard somewhere else? What do you got?
To be fair, I like watching DSP get mad at his chat, and my favorite guy is Wings of Redemption. I know he's on the Dabbleverse, but Wings of Redemption used to be so big, and it's all negative comments, and it's so fucking funny to watch. So I love.
But that's the exact point that PPP is making. Like the fact that the quartering is turning into Dark Side Phil. Yeah, right. It's like, dude, there's no coming back from that. Once that conversion happens, it's over. Now you're just Chris Chan for the rest of your.
A lot of people get accused of being a lolcow, but Jeremy has actually become one now. And the only way he changes that, he has to change his physical appearance, and he has to take a full break from social media. That includes YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble. You cannot be going live. You have to take a sabbatical.
You got to really change his, your entire image is what he's basically saying. I mean, like, I remember like seeing this dude being really huge a couple of years back, and he's come back and lost weight, whatever he did, maybe whatever, I don't know, got a kid, changed his whole thing, right? Now, I found what I was looking for during all this thing, which was having some rain falling or snow falling in the background of, just something movement rather than just, I know the music is going to move on this, but having, move the background music here on the channel. So at the start here, right? I got to change the leg. I got to bring all this to here and put this layer over here. So, but this is a clip I just found on YouTube called "Falling Snow Realistic Overlay," right? But it's not really overlay. You can overlay stuff over the top of it if your image is PNG, which this image here is, right? This one here. But I'm going to move all these layers that I've already put over here over here now, right? And then remove them all and then bring it down here. Either or, it doesn't matter as long as like I have the same layers. So let me bring this here so you get so placement long. It's only 8 seconds, so you can see the change it's going to make. I guess is what I'm trying to say. No, this one, I think this one is the actual full cover. Hold on, which one is this? Oh, I can't even see it. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so it is a full cover. So see, the weird thing is like if you put this on this layer, right? Actually, let's get rid of that. I didn't even notice that was there. Still, so with this snow here, right? That's my heater, if you can hear it in the background there. So, see that? Is that cool or what? It just keeps your eyes moving, you know, like entertained, whatever. So there's movement going on. So you're like, you know, it's kind of more like a music video than that. Because, of course, this is a music video. And then you got the snow there. So it's going to look really cool when I finish that. But, so laying the work over the top like this for the trailer is going to look really cool. However, now I've got to, let's get rid of that. Bring everything I did onto the next layer up, which would be from this over here, right? So now you get to see the snow falling behind it, but the weird thing is that should be black and white. I mean, that should be like a PNG. So I've got to change that background so it's PNG. So it's transparent is what I mean. So what was the other one? So the other one's like the full. If you're just joining us, we're just doing some Alex Stein video for the last for an hour and a half. I didn't realize we went that long through that video. So if I make temperature must have dropped because my heater was at thermostat doing its thing in the background, if you guys can actually hear that. It's a wall thing they put in like late last year because every government ruled that every house had to have like an extractor and a thermostat because, you know, it was just crazy. And so there was a rollout of it. There you go. So it looks like that now. But because this, you know, this art has already, you know, got a background like that, can't do much with it. There we go. It's turned itself off. It's 4:20 in the morning here, guys. That's why like the heater was doing this thing. So I don't freeze to death. We're about a couple of weeks away from actual winter. Where I live, there's no snow. We don't get snow up here when the winter is north. Oh, that looks cool, right? Such a simple little thing, yet it makes makes it look so good, right? Yeah. So the next image is actually not sure how this is going to go because it's actually this, which is just text. Will it work? Do I need to put like a black outline around it? No, I don't. Oh, it's cool. It's actually like the starting credit for a movie, right? It's almost like that. What was that like? The one with the lady cop, It's based on an actual movie, but it's a TV show around Seattle, Washington, or was like in Canada, around that area. So what's the next one? Because I only just thought of doing that while we were talking and doing this, having this conversation here, live streaming. But I got to figure out what that one is. Okay, what is that one? Show me. What are you? Okay, you're that one. Isolate music. What is it? Is it that? No, it's the other one. Yeah, it's that one. It's the one with everything in it. That's the image. Right. So now I can put that here. Actually, what I should do is actually get rid of all these little freaking things, and I can see what's ahead of me, right? So I don't have to worry about moving stuff all the time. So I know this one's actually, now she must protect her son, right? Wait, why not showing me? Oh, this is the old one. It's not the old one, is it though? Yeah, which was a, no, that's a different one. Hold on, where are you? Let me put some music back on in the background, because otherwise you guys are going to be bored of me going, what's going on? Silence. Silence is something like live streams like really sucks, because that's why I like having a co-host. It just fills that gap. Where are you? Wait, is that the, what is it? Okay, so I must have, that's probably that. Let's see what's up here. Yeah, no, it doesn't want it. I know it's not. Okay. Hold on, let me pull it you up. Yeah, like before I came on, like my computer crashed on me because my external drive only had 20 gig and it needed to have more than that because I like to be able to save fast and stuff. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I like. It's one of the early songs I wrote when I realized that I could actually write a song and ask AI to turn it into a. And this one I was just playing around at this stage, but now I'm like really seriously with a. Now I like really take time to write the lyrics, that really tell stories, really do it. Then I was just like, okay, let's just put some words together. That sounds good. It's rhyming. Trying to figure out what's what. Let's just do that, right? That. I think that should bring it up. All right, import. Let's go. There we go. Where is my now? There we go. I lose it somehow? Is that during when the freaking thing crashed? That must be what happened. So I got to build that again. Okay, well, let's put this whole list up now. No. So, let's purple out. What's the next one? Ice. Yeah, this. The actual panel is like, from the comic book. Wait, no. That's the wrong. Yeah, that's Taste. You can see it's going to look so cool. It's not like, no. Which one is this? I get 8 copies of this out. So, the most, I was trying to like load songs onto here. It's like some songs just won't load, which really sucks because there were some really cool versions of the songs. So this was called What Empty Wasteland. And I'm also trying electronica, like trap, Euro trap, Euro step, learning about different sub styles. Just back in like, and the 20 years back, I used to dance a lot. And I think my father and stuff, I was younger and stuff in my 20s, and so that's not the sort of music at that time when I came out of China. And now it's like making music between like thrash metal, deep metal, and electronica. Like two totally different styles. Versions of my songs that I write. I'm saying it. Wait. Yeah. I changed everything. Copy, paste. actually supposed to be a male, actual male monster who, yeah, who changes to lure, man away into the forest and stuff. But like, I don't, it was a bit, out there. And so it changed around. Well, it always changed. But Fun Universe, everything's changed, right? Well, that's cool. Our world, like, places are so different things. So on. Yeah, make it more digestible. Different. Like, religion in our Fun Universe, the main religion is called jumping off the polyhedron. Holy polyhedron, yeah. And it has a male father, a female mother, and then also a child as part of the family. It's like the Godhead, the thrice-faced God that are created for the religion, the Holy Polyhedron. I am looking for. I keep thinking it's up at the top, but it's not. So it's over here. Where are you? There. And paste. Yeah, that's cool. Actually, turn this down so it's not like. Next one is, but the past does not. Right. So over here somewhere, once again. Dang it, that's the one I was looking for. Back here. There. Wait. I cut half of the other one off. Come back here, number 2. What did you jump away for? So the whole thing moved right there. Okay. Weird thing is, like, when I was writing this song, the lyrics to it, I actually kind of spoiled a future episode, a future issue, which is around about, I think it's issue 3, just by, writing the lyrics to the song Born Under a Silvery Moon. That looks so cool, man, with the snow in the background. Okay, what's next? I thought there was something there. Yeah, look at that. There's like, because I didn't like clip it right or what, but like I snipped a bit of, and I've done the same here as well. Look at that. Oh, let's get rid of that. Okay. But the past, right? Come on. No. 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 Gosh, it's here somewhere. And so I've got to like. Wait. 11. It's number 11. Okay. I don't even know why I'm not reading the friggin' numbers on these captions. Like, that would help me out so much. And I'm like just ignoring them like an idiot. Look, that's number 11. Gosh. It's like 4:30 in the morning, 4:40 in the morning. No wonder my brain isn't working. Okay, what's next? It's the fist of the face. There we go. Bring that down. finally opened. Oh, yeah, it's the friggin' Dropbox. No, I don't need you open. Close. Okay. And then we've got cover D, which is the foil cover. I actually had to change another because because one of the things I was going to put out was the foil cover from the Tortoise and foil cover from Howler, but because we can't put the I'm not putting out the Tortoise on this one again, so decided not to put this cover here in there because it's like the foil cover, and then decided to, instead of that, add cover A as a foil cover. And I'll make it as a foil cover just so that we can have two foil covers for this particular thing, which is this one here. So you can see the foil cover there. They're both Howler foil covers now as part of the Silvery Moon. Now, there, is that it? Yep, there's my D cover. I was thinking like somebody clipped me with that, there's my D. It like sounded really weird. Just realized that I'm going to be able to stream this afternoon, so I'm going to have to change it to tomorrow, the one that I've got planned. So that's going to be okay. And I can actually sleep in after this. Okay, what's this one? This is the stickers. Yeah. It's that. And now that I've realized I've actually named them, I can actually go and get the actual. Man, I'm so stupid. Brain's starting not to work now. It's after that 2 hour time when my brain feels overworked with all the concussions. It's about 2 or 3 hours when it starts really losing it. And this is where that's a knife fight. There we go. Still one. Wait, is that the same one? Weird. So if I go to PP, yeah, it does something to it. It shrinks it. Weird. That's like thinking like, why is it like a bit squashed? Should be like full screen. Is that going to do all the art? Because that's going to suck. It's not squashing. It is. It looks like it's squashing. Oh, this sucks. So how am I going to fix this? This is going to like, it's going to take some thinking. Why is this squashing my image? But because it's trying to say it's not video. This is like a really simple editing thing. It's like I've worked on like more, huge industry digital based software for editing, and this is the simplest one I can find, just for like cheap and easy to do basic editing. I like all the shorts I do. I usually do it on my mobile, I just cut it up on the mobile, all the text and everything up on there, overlays. It's all done on my mobile. But when I do like this sort of stuff, I probably should have just done it on the mobile. Thinking about it now, because this is like really messy, and it'll be probably easier too, because if you can see, right, like it's actually squashing the artwork. So this is the right size of artwork, right? And then you go here, it just shrunk it. You can see the difference when I go to this. So see that? It's the same image, but because of where I've laid it, it's decided, well, you know what, we got to shrink it for you. Look at how bad it looks. So yeah, I'm gonna have to like just do this on the mobile. This is stupid. That sucks, man. But I know exactly what's going where, so I'll just put us upload this into my Dropbox, the files, and then download it to my mobile phone, and then edit on my mobile phone. So it's like file, you know, version 7, female heartfelt, right? And then all these other files will just load up there. That kind of sucks though, because it means I can't finish it and then export it now. So I'll just wake up later and do it. And then go back to, because I want to send everything for review tomorrow with the Kickstarter, and give them, you know, get the Kickstarter ready to go, get it up and running by Sunday. Well, by Monday, hopefully they'll get the review done, because this is the PG-13 book, right? There's nothing they need to like go, oh, we need to look at this everything, right? And I've included like a screenshot of everything that, you know, all the art pages, so they can't say, well, there's something weird going on here. You know? So all I got to do is add the trailer, edit it, export it, lay it in here, and then send it to review. And hopefully in 3 days, because it's the weekend, right? Well, it's Saturday in New Zealand. I guess it's still Friday today in the US. So hopefully by Tuesday, because I want to get this started. Let me see, what did I put down as like the start date? Campaign. I'm in preview. That's what gets you like the stuff I want to see. So exit preview. So I want to get this Kickstarted. I want to get this launched. Basics. On the 22nd, right? 22nd. So so basically 6 days I want to get this launched, because it's you know, it's the easiest thing we have that should get the pass to for them to go review it and stuff. I've actually already exported the file for the PDF, send it to them, go, hey, this is it, this is what you need, this is everything, is what we're going to put out, right? Here's a PDF of it, the actual, you know, project, and you got screenshots and what have you. And that's it for me now. I need to get some water because my throat's getting harsh again, and I ran out. So thank you for hanging out with me, man. Appreciate it. Have an awesome night, guys, wherever you are. And we'll get you maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Bye for now. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for hanging out with me on this weird early morning, because it is now 5:15 a.m. Good night, because I'm about to watch an episode of something and go to sleep. Bye for now. Kakideano.
Nope, 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 nope. Can't stay here anymore. I gotta get back. I think this was the spot. Oh Lord, I beseech thee, please return me to my old life. I swear I'll do anything. Like, literally anything. And I won't bother you again, so pretty please bring me back to life.